The city that I grew up in is called Porsgrunn. It's about 2 hours south of the capital city, Oslo, and it's by the coast, the southeast coast. So it's pretty central to the overall population of Norway. Most people are populated in the south of Norway just because it's warmer there, it's not so cold.
Well, in Senegal, I was born in the biggest city. It's a capital, actually, Dakar. So it's kind of really big city. About probably 5 million people living there.
So Quito has different areas. In the south is kind of a poor area, and then going towards the north it gets wealthier. And I grew up in the south actually. I was born in a very kind of the suburbs. And my family, my dad is a pastor and my mom was a lawyer and is a lawyer. So they were working through their studies when I was born. And then when I was 9, my dad moved, we decided to move to a different church in the north. So I've been living there for 9 years and then I came here.
I grew up in the capital city, so that's Kuala Lumpur. And all the places I've lived have been in surrounding suburbs right outside the major city center. So I've always grown up in an urban environment.
Well, media in general is not like here. Here you have a lot more options. Back home, when I grew up, there was probably about 3 major channels. That's all we had. Then you can get cable, but I probably only had 3 friends that had cable at the time when I was probably about 13, 14. So you would always go there to watch Cartoon Network, those kind of things.
Media in Senegal is really growing over the past, I would say 15 years, because there is more democracy, so there are a lot of televisions compared to before. Like in the 90s, there were only 1 television, but now I think we are in the 20s.
Growing up, I think media was such a big part of our lives also, but it wasn't as big. Growing up, radio was very important for us, so we will be listening to the soccer games and listening to the presidential elections, listening to everything through radio. And we just had our phone, our home phone. We didn't have cell phones.
I would say TV is about the same as it is here. It's a pretty big part of entertainment, television, and we did not have as good internet access until the last maybe 10 years. So I can remember growing up with dial-up for most of my childhood.
With time, we've gotten a lot more Americanized in our media. So I went from just watching Norwegian and listening to Norwegian media and reading Norwegian media to go completely into American and British media. So most of my teenage years, late teenage years, I really only watched American TV shows. With
the growth of internet, a lot of people start getting into the internet more. So basically media has grown really powerful. It's like in the United States, basically.
I think radio is still a pretty big thing for us in the media. You will listen in the bus stations, and because we have lots of public transportation, radio has a great role there.
We probably have still 3 radio channels in my town.
I think radio is bigger in Malaysia than it is in America. We don't have as many stations because we're not as large of a country, so the whole country gets basically the same set of stations. And because of that, everyone can relate to each other when it comes to radio, so I think that's why it's still kind of in existence even today.
And newspapers, they're still read, but not a lot.
Now, with media, people that live far away have more information. So basically, everybody is informed about every single thing that happens. And like before, there is not a high level of educated people there. I forget the percentage, but it's not really high. So the media, they do a really good job of trying to get those people involved, and now more and more people are aware of what's going on because of the media. So I think they play a major key, and I think people say it's the 4th institution of the country, besides the executive, legislative, and judiciary.